What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another Insecure video. If you're new, if you love Insecure, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now, today we're going to be talking about Insecure Season 4, Episode 4. This is the recap. Now, I'm going to try my best to go over this episode. I'm going to try to focus on the key points in last night's episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. Now, this episode was an okay episode. I feel like next week's episode is where all the drama is about to happen. But once again, in this episode, tensions have stirred up once again between Issa and Molly, and it's about to be an explosion at this block party, in my opinion. So let's begin. This episode begins off with your girl Issa. She's having some issues, man. You know, she's the little apartment manager or whatever, and her tenants are having issues with the water. You know what I'm saying? And I know this got to be a tough job, man, you know, dealing with tenants and stuff like that and having to, you know, manage all these people, especially when there's problems in apartments. That's something that I definitely don't want to be dealing with, especially pissed off people. You know what I'm saying? They was pissed off at Issa, and this is a huge problem. But it ain't looking too good for her at the start of the episode. She doesn't have a good start. And we get to Molly, on the other hand. She's kicking it with Andrew, but you know, based on the episode, we know that Molly is going to have a lot of work she needs to get done. And she has to put Andrew in the back. You know what I'm saying? She has to get her work done. Then she goes and she tries to kick it with Andrew. He's asleep, but of course he wakes up because he ain't definitely not about to say no to some action. So you already know he clapped those cheeks, and that was that. But Andrew ain't stupid. He's getting tired of becoming the second person or getting put in the back burner. You know what I'm saying? He wants her to take time out for him. Now, we get back to your girl Issa. She's trying to contact Condola. We don't know where she's at. She's trying to figure this out because she needs Condola's help with this whole block party, but she cannot get in contact with her, which lets us know there is issues. And maybe Lawrence wanted to talk to her about that, but that did not happen in this episode. We get to your girl Molly and Issa fighting over a parking spot. Eventually, Issa lets her have the spot. They meeting up at Tiffany's spot because she had the baby. And look, your girl Issa pretty much apologizes and said, you know what, I've been kind of busy. I'm sorry I couldn't, talk to you and stuff like that. The two say they still want to do self-care Sunday. It's just a busy time as of right now, which is very understandable for the two. They don't really squash anything for real. I mean, they kind of talk for a little bit, but that's about it. Nothing major. You can tell that the two still have some feelings and some tension built up that eventually will be released. Now we get to your boy Lawrence, and he's kicking it with Derek. They at Tiffany's spot. They at the spot watching the baby, and of course, the baby is a girl. Simone is her name, and they're talking about, how they pretty much dogged females. Derek is like, man, I dogged so many females. Man, people gonna probably trying to be dogging my daughter like I did those females. And that's tough, man. That is tough. Having to have a baby girl, you learn to appreciate a female, and you don't really want to disrespect females in general no more, especially seeing that your daughter is going to need somebody to look up to. We get to Molly, of course, and she is upset because Issa is keep making these jokes about Andrew. Now, Molly is trying to actually give good advice about Andrew and taking him serious and, talking to Tiffany about relationships and having someone there. And Issa is joking about it like she always does. But I don't think Issa was really trying to be intentional. I don't think she really was trying to hurt Molly. She just looks at it like, okay, it is what it is. Molly's old Molly. And that's the thing. I think Issa doesn't see the growth that Molly really wants. And I think that's the issue. These guys have miscommunication, and eventually it will explode. Now, Issa talks to Kelly about Molly is, if asking her pretty much, is she talking shit about her? She's all over her back. Your girl Kelly ain't really trying to hear none of that. You know what I'm saying? She's pretty much concerned about drinking breast milk. This girl be having me cracking up in the whole episode. Every time she's on scene, she's always doing something silly all the time. Now, your girl Molly, she's looking outside because she sees Issa and she sees Lawrence. So she's already thinking in her head like, okay, these two still gonna be messing around. Lawrence is talking to Condola. This is not right. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm thinking Molly is probably thinking about. Now we see Lawrence and Issa in this episode, and Lawrence wanted to talk to Issa, in my opinion, about Condola, but Issa kept talking. She kept talking, and Lawrence couldn't really get it out. And then Issa, she had to take a phone call, in which we already know she finds out that her headliner is pretty much gone. She has to figure out something else. Is not going to happen. She has to figure out what's going to happen with this block party. It's not looking too good for her, and she don't know what to do as of right now. She has to leave, and once she leaves, you can just tell in the look on your girl Molly's face. She's thinking like, okay, she's leaving and probably gonna meet up with Lawrence, because Lawrence left, Issa left, so she's like, okay, I know what she's doing. She's going to meet up with Lawrence. I know she is. I wonder if Molly's going to try to tell Condola about this. Her and Lawrence meeting up or talking, whatever. I think some things are going to happen. And I think Molly is going to be in the center of all this. And I can't wait to see it all play out. But we already know that Molly eventually, she going to get petty. She going to get petty eventually. In this episode, she kind of was a little bit, but it's almost understandable because she wants to take her relationship seriously. Now, seeing that Issa doesn't have a headliner, this girl really was about to hit up Beyonce. This shit was so funny. This scene was so funny. I mean, Issa was calling everybody. I mean, she was calling people, asking them, talking about, you said that your kid was going to grow up and be a star. So are they? You know, she was calling the whole hood, trying to find out if she can get a headliner. It wasn't looking too good for your girl Issa, but like I said, this scene was so funny. Issa Rae be having me cracking up, especially when she be talking to herself and doing all that crazy shit. But she still has to get this headliner, and that's going to be a difficult task for her to do. So maybe she can contact Molly. Now, Molly, on the other hand, she meets up with Andrew. She's trying to make up. They're at dinner. And Molly thinks that, you know, the whole night is going to be them two. But Andrew has to explain to her, like, look, after this, I'm going to kick it with the boys. We're supposed to be playing cards or poker or something like that. And Molly is like, what? Like, really? And Andrew is like, well, you always busy, so I figured that you probably have to do work. So now, you know, this issue is continually to happen between the two. And she really has to make time for him, because now he's like, look, I can just move on pretty much. And she has to get him to stay. Now, Issa comes up with a plan, and that's to get connections with Andrew. But she needs to talk to Molly about this. She pretty much tells Molly, look, just make up with Andrew. Do something for me. You know what I'm saying? Help me get this connection, this headliner for the block party. And, you know, you my girl. You going to hook it up for me. And, of course, Molly, she was like, oh, okay, all right, or whatever. You know, it really seemed like she was going to do it. Like, she didn't really have no issues. But then again, we talking about Molly. You know what I'm saying? These two always have something. There's always some type of issue. Now, Molly does make up with Andrew. She meets back up with him. And, you know, she could have got the connect for Issa, but she decided she didn't really want to do that. She's taking this very serious. As I told you guys, she's taking it very serious with Andrew. Hopefully it doesn't mess up. Now, of course, she tells Issa, like, look, I couldn't do it. You're going to pretty much have to figure this out on your own. I don't want to mess this relationship up with Andrew. This is something that I'm taking very seriously. And Issa was pissed off, and it's very understandable. I mean, I can understand it from both perspectives, you know, because Molly, she always has trouble with dudes. So she's actually trying to take this serious and not trying to use Andrew and, you know, make him feel like he ain't nothing and put him on a back burner and, you know what I'm saying, getting him involved with Issa and stuff like that. So she's trying to play it safe. Issa is like, look, you supposed to be my girl. You know what I'm saying? She didn't really say that. She just said I had to go. But you can tell she's like, man, she's supposed to be my girl. She was supposed to look out for me for this block party, but it didn't fall through. I mean, maybe Molly could have helped her and, you know, got her that connect. I don't know if it would have been a huge issue, but at the same time, I do understand Molly trying to play it safe and not mess things up with Andrew. Him helping out with the block party, I don't necessarily think that probably would have messed things up. I mean, it all depends on how things would have played out, but you just never know. So it is understandable. And of course, Issa is pissed off. She's trying to take a shower, and as you can see this nasty ass water. I mean, it's just nasty, man. Like, horrible. Overall, Issa didn't have the best episode. She did not have the best episode. Molly, she started off kind of bad, but she fixed things with Andrew, and she's trying to make things right between the two. What's going to happen next? I believe next week is the block party. We're going to see some drama unfold, and it seems like we're going to get the block party, and then, since we halfway through the season, we're going to see how everything is fixed and what happens after the block party. And I can't wait to see it. But you guys let me know, what did you think about last night's episode? Like I said, it was an okay episode. I feel like next week's episode is going to be fire. It's going to bring a lot of drama. And all that tension most likely is going to come back to the forefront, in my opinion. Where is Condola? Will she pop back up? I guess we got to wait and find out. But you guys keep supporting your boy, and I will continue to bring you more Insecure content in the future. But it's your boy, Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.